James Clapper is the director of national intelligence, and if you remember, he went and testified before this whole story was broken about the NSA spying in front of the Senate. And Ron Wyden had asked him an interesting question. Let's listen to that question and answer.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
You remember when we first ran that video and I said, boy, what kind of a liar this guy is. Not wittingly, I'm not looking at you, dude. Oh, man. And, of course, the reality is that was a complete and utter lie. Through the phone program, we wittingly, on purpose, collect all of the phone metadata. Now, when asked about this, Clapper has had a number of great responses. First, he said, well, I thought he was referring to Section 702 of the FISA Act and not Section 215 of the Patriot Act. Yeah, Section 215 of the Patriot Act. Yeah, we're collecting everybody's information. And by the way, that's not what Section 215 says. It says you're supposed to collect information on things that are relevant to a specific investigation. So he's actually breaking the law by violating Section 215. The guy who wrote the Patriot Act, author of it, is Jim Sensenbrenner. He said, where's the specific investigation? This doesn't make any sense. And he's a Republican, and he's no civil libertarian. Okay, so he's breaking the law on the NSA. He clearly perjured himself right there when he said we're not collecting the information when he is in fact collecting the information. So he had gone on TV before to try to explain this, and then of course he had this legendary answer.
I have great respect for Senator Wyden. I thought, though, in retrospect, I was asked, when are you going to stop beating your wife kind of question, which is meaning not answerable necessarily by a simple yes or no. So I responded in what I thought was the most truthful or least untruthful manner by saying no.
Man, I'd love to play poker with this guy. He's got such a great tell. Whenever he's lying, he looks down. He's like, I responded by saying the most truthful, I mean the least untruthful thing I could say. Oh, is that right? So that's the famous least untruthful line. So that was his excuse for lying in front of the Senate, committing perjury, which is a criminal act. I don't know if we have a manhunt for Clapper yet. Now he's amending that. In a letter to Senator Dianne Feinstein, he says, okay, you got me. My statement was, quote, erroneous. Flat out erroneous. You know, we have another word for that. It's called a lie. It's also, under oath, called perjury. You remember the Republicans impeached President Clinton based on this, right? And remember at the time, they're like, it's not about the sex. He lied under oath. How could he do that? Now, of course, Senator Dianne Feinstein is part of the establishment. She loves spying on the American people. So she got the letter in our office, was like, yes, totally fine, no problem with the error, no problem. Okay, we're going forward. Senator Ron Wyden, who's the senator who was lied to, not so fine with it. His office put out this statement saying, Senator Wyden's deeply troubled by a number of misleading statements senior officials have made about domestic surveillance in the past several years. By the way, that statement indicates that's not the only lie that Clapper has given. So can't wait to see what the rest of it is. And I can't wait for James Clapper to be hiding in Evo Morales' plane. Because I'm sure a criminal act is a criminal act. And President Obama will hunt him down, right? Oh, it's only if you do things that the government is not in favor of. Okay, if you lie and you break the law and the government's happy with it, you're free to go. I'm glad that we still conduct ourselves under the rule of law here in the United States.